This is Elvaston Castle in Derbyshire, England. It's where my great-grandmother, Jean-Marie Anais Espetex, worked and met her husband, who also worked there, William Thomas Barrett. They worked and lived there in the 1880s, early 1890s. Marcia and I started our trip. We were traveling by rail in Derby, jumped on a bus right outside the station and got off at Chardlow Lane, right in front of the gates to Elvaston Castle. The gates were locked and I had to ask somebody how to get in, who was walking a dog, and they just said walk around the gate. So that's what we did. We're on the lane which was used as the formal entrance in horse and carriage days, and we're still about 1 kilometer away from the castle. It's bordered on both sides by beautiful trees, and it was a great walk. We're coming up on what I'd call a formal gate. One of the Earls bought it from France, spared no expense. It's quite elaborate. It bears the crest and of the Earl of Harrington. This is our first view of the castle after a nice walk. The grounds are maintained by Derbyshire Council. These hedges are right in front, and the castle has a little work required on it, and I think the estimate was £6.5 million to repair it, but all in all it was pretty impressive to see it. As we turn around from the castle, this is our look back up the lane and what we see right in front of the castle. Typical tourist, I had to get my picture taken in front of the castle. This is what I think is the main entrance. I kind of peered in there and tried to get my camera in the glass. It's not open to the public, but this is a picture I took through the glass of the hall right at the beginning, and this is the ceiling in the same area. The rest of these pictures are just walking around the castle and the various angles right around the castle. These next pictures, this one from 2016 and the one right behind it from 2019, is of the tea shop at Elvaston Castle. We went in there and had lattes and scones both times we were there. So it was quite nice. This is just the courtyards around the castle and the buildings that are around there, and they're always working on repairs. You'll see that in a couple of these pictures. The church in the background here is St. Bartholomew's. I think all of Jean-Marie and William's children went to that church. It was an important part of their life. My mom, Shirley, their granddaughter, talked about it. I think her Aunt Florence talked about going to that church. So I just wanted to be there and walk around it. It was closed. They do open it, but unfortunately it wasn't open when I was there. This is the main entrance. Yeah, it was kind of neat to see. Now we're walking around County Park at Elvaston Castle, and there's a lot of outbuildings. Some you know what they're used for. Others seem like they're follies. But when you do come across one like this pump house, you understand what it's used for. There was a lot of water, it's a wet area, and they reclaimed a lot when they landscaped it. William Barrett was the gardener at the time, and he brought a lot of these trees in on horse and wagon, and it's amazing. The yew trees are just pretty spectacular. Now we're heading to the Old English Garden. As I said before, it was May, but we had a nice walk around there. It's quite well done. Very labor intensive keeping this up, as I can tell. These next pictures were sent to me by Sandra, a member of the Friends of Elvaston Castle Facebook group. This is a book. I have a copy of this book. It's on St. Bartholomew's, and in it is a picture of Jean-Marie and William Thomas's son, Gerald. These pictures are pictures of what the grounds looked like when they would have been there in the 1880s and 90s. This is what the inside of the castle looked like when they were there. These next pictures, most of them are the third floor, which is where my great-grandparents would have lived when they lived at the castle. They moved away from the castle when they were married. But this is, I believe this is the sunroom. And these are just various rooms. I'm not sure where they are, but you can see the disrepair that the place is in right now. And now I'm at St. James Church in Gosworth, Cheshire. This is a picture of Gosworth Hall. The first Earl of Harrington bought this hall, so I think that's how William Thomas ended up working for the Earl of Harrington. 8th, I can't remember which one of the Stanhopes he worked for. This is a picture of St. James, and it's where William Thomas and Jean-Marie were married in about 1883-84. I forget the actual date. Was able to spend some time in the church. There was nobody there. It was open. Took a few pictures, walked around the grounds. It's a very old church. The last slide is a World War I memorial plaque from St. James, and it has the surname Swindles on it, and I know that name is part of our family history, and I want to look it up.